everybody. And I already did my hello and everything. It's already happened.
It is Sunday, December 14th, 2018. This is the Bulldog Unchained podcast. I'm your host, the King of Villains, Bulldog Malenko. As always, with me is Dirt Nap Dave.
Hello.
Nubsy Slow.
Chill, boy.
And today we got a special guest in, Nubsy's buddy, Patrick Kuhn. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
All right.
Always great. It's kind of a crapshoot around here, isn't it?
Tepid.
Huh?
Yeah, tepid. It's touch and go.
It's room temperature.
Shitpoop.com.
So, as you can see, I'm in my Steelers regalia. Today is a huge, important day.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers face the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
And
isn't that a household rivalry also?
No, it is not. It used to be when they had the Central Division.
Haley's team.
Oh, household. Oh, yeah.
Your household.
Haley Fawn, diehard Jags fan. Jag-offs.
Yeah, well, that's why she's so in love with you.
See what you did there.
You know? You remind her more of a jaguar. You remind her of a jaguar.
Yeah.
Never.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. God damn it. I tried to watch that New England Tennessee debacle last night, and
I didn't even.
Oh, you didn't miss anything.
I bet
Tennessee scored the first touchdown of the game. They stopped New England immediately, and then Tennessee goes. Actually, it went back and forth, two possessions each. Right? Did you watch it?
No, I remembered that it was on, and I was like, and they were already up like 3 touchdowns.
Right. Tennessee goes up 7-0. That was it.
That was everything. For
Goodbye,
Tennessee, right?
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
Marcus got hurt.
No. His feelings, vastly, just terribly hurt, incredibly hurt.
It up.
Oh my God, Tom Brady was like, "Oh, all aboard the rape train, woo woo." Oh, dude,
I figured
it was 35-7. I think was the final.
New England's my pick for the trophy this
year. Shut your goddamn hippie mouth.
I know, and I don't.
Mark
it's not
Wahlberg.
that it's not like I'm excited about it. It's not an enthusiastic.
No. What
pick.
needs to happen?
My guy Patrick's rocking the best hat in the room right now. The best head cover for sure.
I mean, at least it's got that logo on it and not the sideways toilet seat.
No, I hate that.
Like Indy. Both Indy and Chicago's logos look like toilet seats to me. Although
the Steelers logo looks like the plumbing company coming to clean it up.
That's right. We're going to come snake your drain. Yeah, that's for damn sure.
Yep. James Harrison, snake and drains. Oh, wait.
Let me just tell you.
Team. Sorry.
Let me just tell you. James Harrison is going to be a non-factor.
So what do you think? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen in the New England Jacksonville game next week?
Bitch! It ain't gonna be. It ain't gonna be
Haley Fawn.
No,
I'm with you, Haley.
No, there's too much. Like for us to lose,
I'm rooting
to lose twice to a team in the same year, not fucking likely.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen.
Now is Pittsburgh the home team?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
They got to come into Heinz Field.
Oof, that's
everyone realizes that the destiny is Pittsburgh going to Foxborough next week. Okay. That's what everyone wants to see. That's the
good match. We'll see.
That's the match. Especially after we got fucked in the last game.
Do you think that's the most competitive match in the playoffs, like bar none from beginning to end?
Yes, absolutely. There's hatred there. Tom Brady
I don't think there's
has
a team in the
NFC
that's left that can beat either Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, or New England.
The only hope was Philadelphia with Carson Wentz, and when he went down, the NFC was done.
Yeah.
Minnesota, they're tough. They're not.
They are a doghouse this year. I was really impressed with them, but the NFC North has been the weak. It's the weakest it's been in fucking years.
And I mean, as you can have, hey, look, man. I mean, we all have seen great. We've seen great fighters.
Talent. We got some emerging talent in Chicago with Jordan Howard, and I think Trubisky's going to be good too.
Yeah, I'm really excited about him.
Yeah. We've seen great fighters in life, but just because someone is a great up-and-comer doesn't mean if either Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson steps into the ring, whichever one of these two wins and goes on to the Super Bowl, it doesn't mean that you're good enough to box. Your arms are not long enough to box with God.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Slim Shady.
Yeah.
No.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
On Triple H. He said, No, he said that to The Rock. My bad.
Yeah.
He said that to The Rock.
Your arms are not long enough to box with God.
He said, you ain't in the right arena. Because, I mean, even though for all The Rock's popularity, he's still always in WWE, he's still the number 2. He's still the number 2 from that era.
Oh, yeah.
And that's...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know it burns him up.
It totally does.
You know it does.
It's still...
There is one man that always...
will get a louder pop.
Yeah. You hear that glass shatter? Are you a wrestling fan?
I am not at all.
But you know who the fuck Stone Cold Steve Austin is.
For sure.
And if you
I played WWF Warzone.
Right, there you go. Yeah. Throwback. Old school.
Mercies,
PlayStation.
I played it on 64. But
all right. Right on.
Come back to days.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But you know damn good and well if you're sitting in a crowd and you hear that glass shatter, you're going to get off your seat and your hands are going to be in the air immediately.
Connection. Yep.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that.
Yeah.
And even it's still The Rock. I was super excited to see The Rock anytime he's on television. It's always awesome.
Yeah.
And the man is one of the hardest working men, and I like him. He's a way bigger crossover star worldwide, more so over entertainment value wise. He's definitely provided more depth as a person overall than Stone Cold has, in a wider range of things. He's a much better actor. He's a much better actor.
He's gotten a lot better over the years.
That's what I'm saying.
He was made. You can tell he was made to be an actor.
He's phenomenal. But yeah, that's and so.
And I'm not. You can't take anything away from his athleticism. Jesus, he's a freak.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's got a much better. I guess just list of accomplishments in crossover media. In different types of crossover things, but
I mean, this is my feeling. I think that he is the reason that Fast and Furious franchise has been allowed to run on for 8 movies.
Yeah,
because I think that shit would have been done after it would have been done in around the 4th.
Mm-hmm. I like number 5. That's a good one.
That he was in that, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I
haven't seen one since Fast and the Furious.
Dude, they actually Of course,
that with Nicolas Cage, where he's the car thief, right?
No, that's going to. Oh, I was like, is he serious?
Like Illinois?
Paul Walker.
Fuck out of here,
Paul Walker, dude. I know. Before he, had met his
Fast and Furious, his ass on out of here.
His ironic demise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Okay.
So what's been going on this week?
Football.
Football.
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and Furious.
Let me just tell you, today. So when we played the Jags near the beginning of the season, we had 5 turnovers. Ooh. We just could not get shit clicking. It was just a bad day. Since then, Ben Roethlisberger has gone on a fucking dude, we beat New England.
You know what
Everybody
needs?
and their mama knows we beat New England.
You know what he needs?
That was a touchdown. Jesse James all day, every day. Any other game, that's a touchdown.
Yeah. What Roethlisberger needs right now is to get hurt, because he's always better.
Oh, dude.
He doesn't need to.
Yeah, you're right. He needs to get hurt, not injured, but hurt, like a broken rib, something that causes him to wheeze when he talks, and then all of a sudden he's pissed and just plays lights out. Yeah. Like no one wants to see a hurt Ben Roethlisberger under center
on the field.
Yeah, no,
with his whole body taped up except for his throwing arm.
I don't understand how this man who, I mean,
he
has taken so much abuse, and he has definitely slowed down. Like he was never a quick runner. Now
Roethlisberger.
He's not even like, oh, there he goes. It's like, oh, Ben's running. That's the longest 5-yard run I've ever seen in my life. That literally took 12 seconds.
Are we back from commercial break yet?
We're back from commercials. Ben Roethlisberger is still on his 7-yard scramble. Miraculously, no one can bring him down, but he can't run for shit.
Yeah.
But
we spent our salary cap on the offensive line. Totally worth it.
He doesn't know how to slide either to protect himself as a quarterback.
He just kind of falls backwards.
He runs and dives head first every fucking time.
That wasn't him. Oh, okay.
He runs and dives head first like a goddamn running back. Only
he's huge. He's a big fella.
Like, I think that a lot of people underestimate what it's got to be like to bring down a 240-pound quarterback. Like, at his heaviest, he was like 255.
Wow.
but he's slimmed back down a little bit. He's on that 240 side.
He doesn't look slim.
No, he looks like a goddamn linebacker throwing the ball.
Especially
Yeah,
in
it's
the chin,
ridiculous.
right in the chins area, right here.
Oh yeah. It's a good thing when he starts growing out the playoff beard because it covers, especially if he's on the sideline not wearing his helmet, and you see babyface Ben and the chins, and oh damn, Ben, I love you, but keep the facial hair, brother.
Dude, you could
Take it from a fellow fat kid.
You could learn a language in the amount of time that you spent looking at Roethlisberger's face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dude, I remember in
You could be a fucking interpreter.
I remember
Sell your skills on Amazon.
I remember the 2004 draft or 2003 draft. It was 2004 when we drafted him, and immediately, like, because I remember everybody was so enamored with Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers, and I was like, I don't want either of those turds on my team, and we get to pick number 11, and Ben Roethlisberger is chosen, and I was like, fuck yes. And his rookie season takes us to the AFC Championship game against goddamn New England.
Under
But
Drew
just-
Bledsoe or Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
It was Tom Brady already?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Tom Brady came in 2001.
Tom
This
Brady
has been almost
replaced-
2 decades
Holy
of
shit.
because
Wow.
the Steelers lost the AFC Championship game that year
Oh,
in 2001
Was
to
that
the
the
New
year?
England Patriots.
Was that the year that Tom Brady came on?
Yes,
Yeah.
when Drew Bledsoe got hurt, Tom
Yeah.
Brady comes in and
Holy
is just.
shit.
But
And
that's
they won
also
the
when
Super
they
Bowl that year.
and they were stealing the signals. That was
It was that year?
beginning. That was the beginning of the whole Spygate thing, and then it was found out that they were after they won their second.
Whatever. Do what you gotta do. New England, baby.
You know what?
Crab
Hey, man,
cakes and football.
Hold on.
'Cause
They
that's
have 5
'cause that's what
Lombardis.
Maryland
They have
does.
5 Lombardis. We have 6, and none of ours should have an asterisk by them. Every single one of New England's should have an asterisk. Every single one. You've got Deflategate. It was proven that they deflated the.
But come on,
balls.
they beat the Colts by like 30 points. They could have beat the Colts with bowling balls that day.
Hold on.
The Colts were awful.
Do you know? Hold on. When you're playing in cold weather,
true.
and it's only your team that has deflated balls, even if it's down 7 pounds of
I mean,
pressure.
I
do you
agree
un-
with you
Do you
that they
understand
were
how
cheating.
easy? Do you understand how
It
easy
wouldn't have
that-
mattered.
How easy that ball is to catch and hold on to?
Yeah, I mean, I
Because
was a
a
wide
fully-
receiver in high school.
A fully inflated football in cold bounces right the fuck off your hands, and it hurts. It sucks. It is awful. But when you have a ball that's a little bit, when you got a ball that's a little bit softer, and it's just bam, and you're able to grab it. That's an
I
advantage.
mean, technically they were cheating. I just
Yeah.
everybody makes such a big deal out of that, and I'm just like, they would have beat the
But it-
Colts. The
but
Colts
here's the thing.
defense that year was
Fuck
awful.
the Colts. It wasn't. You know that wasn't a 1-game thing.
Oh,
You don't just get that
But
idea and just do it one game.
There's no way
We're
that
gonna check this out and make sure this works going into the Super Bowl.
there's no way that they were the only team that was doing that. They were just the only team that got caught doing it.
Boom. It's like steroids.
Well, the steroids.
Everybody does steroids.
Everybody talks about the Steelers of the 70s. Well,
I don't know.
every single team was on steroids in the 70s. You couldn't. That's where the whole adage, like, if you aren't on PEDs, you can't compete at that level.
And yeah, well, just look what happened with Russia. I mean, the entire the entire Olympic team,
It was a state-run program.
the entire
The government ran it.
every single Olympic athlete.
Hello, my name is Oksana. Oh yeah.
I weigh 107 pounds.
42 kilos.
Floor routine. Oksana Dragul.
What is your day job, Oksana?
Floor routine.
Spetsnaz. I'm Russian Special Forces. I break your neck in like 17 different ways.
Oh, shit. So yeah, the entire a lot of people do that stuff that are in competitive sports when there's money involved.
Look, I still think, like, you look at NFL athletes, just look at the majority of their physiques. Look, I understand there's good diet and there's great exercise. But then there are some things that you look at and you're like, no, I don't care what your genetics are, you did not achieve that naturally. You did not. That's like looking at John Cena and thinking that John Cena is, Good diet and exercise. Nope. I've seen his mom and dad. Nope. No.
Well, I mean, you were talking about The Rock earlier. It's the same thing.
Oh,
I mean, if you
absolutely.
see him when he first came in.
First of all, he was on bad steroids when he first came in because he was all bloated and shit. It looked like he'd been doing cocaine. You go back and look at Babyface Rock.
Remember?
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle Rock, looks like he ate Old Rock.
Oh, dude.
He's just
Since he is not in WWE now, like,
well,
first of all,
as long as you're, it's about being
Tren,
responsible.
What is it, Trenaball? Yeah, Tren. Tren and HGH.
Winstraw.
Yeah,
That'll cut you
these
up.
These are the mainstays of anyone who does action movies. Like Hugh Jackman, if you think that he's just doing proper diet and exercise to get into Wolverine shape,
no, there's a reason why that. I mean, there's a reason why he's getting paid 15. I mean, part of being a $15 million man. And beat out a lot of fucking people. So you've got to put in that hard fucking work to be the best.
Oh, yeah. In the Wolverine origin movie, even Liv Schreiber. Do you remember what he looked like when he was wearing the green wife beater, like the OD green wife? Liv Schreiber as Saber. Liv Schreiber was jacked out of his mind. By the way, have you seen
D-ball and intermittent fasting?
Have you seen Josh Brolin?
I've seen pictures
of him training for Cable.
I've seen it's ridiculous.
Wait, isn't he Thanos too?
Yeah, he is. He does the mocap and the voice of Thanos. Yeah.
Right, he's CG'd in that. But if you see what he looks like now for Cable,
sweet
Jesus Christ! Oh yeah.
He's on them future roids.
Oh,
baby.
Dude, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's time travel roiding.
Hell yeah, he's on that futurol.
Like. Well played.
Coming out.
Well played.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, there are maybe like a 0.02% of the population, like Flex Wheeler, okay? Remember him, bodybuilder, all this. Flex Wheeler, Ronnie Coleman. These dudes, we talked about this. Mm-hmm. Yes, they were on gear. Of course they were. But they also had a disorder that's called a myostatin deficiency. Remember when we talked about that? Where their body really can't convert things into fat. They can't keep body fat on. It's a disorder. Have you ever seen any of these? Have you ever seen a pit bull that looks way too muscled?
Yeah.
It's very common in pit bulls, American Staffordshire Terriers, and other bull breeds where these dogs will be born with a myostatin deficiency, and it looks like the dog just came from the gym.
Yeah, I've seen dogs like that.
Yeah, and now they genetically do this to certain breeds of cows. Have you ever seen those cows that are just muscle upon muscle?
Yeah.
The livestock,
no,
man. Dude, crazy shit. Like 800, 900 pound cow that looks like it can bench press a house.
Like a bull?
Prime rib, baby.
Dude. It's crazy.
I like my cow like heifer.
Again, that's such a minor fraction of the population, and I try to tell people, I'm like, I don't care how good your diet is and how much you work out. The best that most people are going to look, especially a man, the average male, is not going to be over 200 pounds and jacked out of his mind.
Shredded.
Right, shredded without help.
10% body fat and less like that.
Yeah. Well, and you see these dudes hitting 6%, 5% body fat.
Bodybuilders day of competition are sub 3.
Oh yeah.
They break the caliper.
Yeah.
They won't. The calipers won't even register how low they are.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, and also everybody's like, man, bodybuilders look so impressive. And whenever I see, we've talked about this too. Whenever I see a bodybuilding competition, all I can think is how close to death they are.
Oh yeah, they're super unhealthy,
dehydrated. You have no
fat
content protecting your joints, your muscles, your tendons, all this. Just who's that?
It's the muscle cows.
Holy fuck!
We should start.
Oh, that's disgusting.
This should be our
that
gym,
ass
like a gym thing. Would be muscle cows and just fucking yoked ass bulls.
The livestock's here, baby.
Muscle. That's muscle
cow.
Son.
Muscle cow, moo, motherfucker, moo.
South Park.
The weight,
moo, bitch.
Move that weight. Nah, that's terrible. God damn it. What are you doing, Chewbacca? What are you doing, Chewbacca?
That was the best fucking cow impression you ever heard. Darpa nap.
Derpanap.
Good job. You can't even get the fucking name right. He has 112% to that word. God damn it.
All right, so let's get to our guest here.
Okay.
Patrick, so what do you do, man?
Well, I have a podcast of my own that I
Do you?
Yeah, it's a weekly nerd culture podcast. We basically review movies, TV shows, comic books, video games. It's called The Nerd You're Looking For. We
Nice.
post episodes every Monday, so that keeps most of my
I
free
dig
time.
that for sure, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
we will definitely shit. I love having guests on that actually have something to plug.
Oh yeah.
So we will definitely plug.
Oh,
your
I have
show
so
on our
much.
feed.
We have a YouTube channel as well.
So that's
I know
great.
Dirt Nap was I had caught a couple episodes ago where he was giving Nubsy a hard time for watching South Park, the Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
Actually watching, that's all our YouTube channel is just me playing video games and people watching me play
I
video
understand-
games.
No. I understand you putting the content out. I just don't understand anybody consuming it.
That was like a movie.
But,
When
yeah.
I first heard about it,
I get
I was
it.
like, people actually
Twitch.
watch that?
Yeah,
I was
dude,
like, I could do that.
I remember when Twitch first started,
Yeah.
and I used to get on there, and how I really got drawn into it was like two of the first people. I can't even remember their names now, but two of the first people I started watching on Twitch, they had just recently started their channels, like within 2 months of me
Yeah.
finding them, and so their crowds weren't really huge. Well, I'm playing live with them while I've got their stream on,
yeah.
so that's even more fun.
That's the best.
I'm good, man. Go ahead.
You sure?
Why are you letting this interrupt the show?
Man, you're dying over
No,
here.
I'm not.
Fucking
Nobody's dying. It was just a little bit of a hiccup in time space. Space time. That was close.
You okay now?
I'm good.
All right.
It's gonna be a new one.
So the nerd you're looking for. I love the name.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That was my idea.
Right. So how many people are with you?
I have a co-host. We have guests on as well every once in a while.
Right on.
We have a buddy that has a podcast himself called The Obsessive Viewer, and he comes on at least once a year because we do our top 10 movies of the prior year.
So it would be great. So you know what High Score Saloon is here in town?
Yes.
Okay. So Dave is friends with Clint, the owner.
I am too.
Scott.
Yeah.
Scott Edwards.
Changes his name like.
Well, no, they missed. When he went on the news and it was a misprint.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's
So
right.
he's just like,
yeah.
I'm Scott now.
I'm
It's
Scott.
fine.
Yeah.
So he's Scott for a month. Yep.
But we are going to have him come be on the show also, but we're aiming to go do a show
Live? Yeah,
High Score.
that's-
yeah, because we got the cameras. I've got a digital audio recorder. Maybe what we should do is a joint venture with the Nerd You're Looking For, and do basically we all have the same show, but it's split up among both platforms, and
That'd be cool.
So
I mean, we
I
totally
think
down
that could
for
be
that.
fun because he covers video games.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
that'd be fun as
That'd
shit.
be
man.
great. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking a lot more recently about. What can we do to make this show better, get more exposure, and what can we do to help others?
For sure.
That needs
There's
help or
have you guys been on
growth.
the Evansville podcast?
No.
Yeah, you should get a hold of Jason. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a local growth.
Yeah. I've heard of it. I've not listened to it. I have my shows that I listen to
Of course.
during the week, and
But when you put out content, it's hard for you to watch or listen to other content
It-
because you're busy doing your thing.
Right.
I completely understand that for sure.
yeah. That's the one thing that I've learned from doing a podcast. Other podcasters are not your fucking market. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. It's not your market. They are not. They could not give a shit less. They have so much shit going on with their
Absolutely.
own shows. Well, if they're working properly, they got too much going on with their own shows. But
Now here we are sitting here together.
now this is different.
I know.
Having other podcasters as guests or going on someone else's show,
Right.
that's producing content.
I've read
Like-
that. I've read that on so many articles that this is a thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna all.
Oh, yeah.
We're all gonna tag and hashtag and tweet and retweet and
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
cross
I'm gonna tweet
post and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So okay, so you do reviews and reviews of contemporary movies, like classic movies? You do.
It's usually new releases.
Okay.
Like we'll go see the movie on Thursday, and then we'll review it, and the episodes come out on Monday. So
Wonderful. So it is actually something that's out there for the movies when.
Like pretty much right after release.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like
You're coming to
post-release
market.
weekend.
Yeah.
You're
That's
coming to
good.
market Monday after.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when you're coming to market with it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you produce the show on Sundays, or?
Well, I mean, it just depends on when we can get together to record, but usually it's Friday, Saturday, we'll record, and
Okay.
then we take turns editing, just so it doesn't
Awesome.
have so one person just doesn't have that whole producing aspect too, because it takes a lot of time, as you guys know. So, yeah, and then we
As I
just
know.
post it on
You know.
Monday.
Yeah.
Look, let me just tell you. So
It takes
I
fucking
don't.
forever.
I don't do any editing to the audio show. Do not. Like that's why I'm constantly adjusting the levels on the fly.
That
as
makes
we go.
it so much easier. Yeah.
And I don't care if there's a little bit of clipping. The one thing I found with my audience is that they don't really like. First of all, the production value is good enough. I've got good enough equipment
Absolutely.
that it's not. It doesn't sound like I'm talking through a computer mic.
Yeah.
And I've found that people generally don't care. They can adjust the volume in their car if they need to, or on their phone, or whatever they're listening on. But so long as it's just a good pro quality sound and the content keeps them engaged.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's what people care about. Now the video, Jesus Christ, man, I have to hack down camera A, then take on camera B.
Oh, yeah, that's
and I have
pain.
to do them independently, and then I have to make one final video of them together. And geez, that it takes me like Sunday. This show will be up tonight, audio.
Okay.
The YouTube show will not be up until Wednesday, just because it takes for each video to be done takes about 5 to 6, sometimes 7 hours, from start to finish, editing, blah blah blah, compression.
Yeah. So
It's a fucking nightmare.
that was one thing that it took us a little bit to kind of figure out what you were talking about, the audience kind of not really caring about certain things. Like we overproduce. Well, I shouldn't say we. I edited most of the first about year of the podcast, and I over-edited the shit out of it. And
It's like people that say that they can tell the difference between standard high def and 4K. No, you fucking can't. You
No.
don't have bionic eyes. Your eyes literally only register like 256 separate colors. You're not getting 4,000 colors on the spectrum in your eyesight. It's not happening.
And so I would overproduce the shit out of every episode, and it sounds awful. Like I can't even listen to our old episodes.
Did you use like built-in compression things and stuff like that,
I mean, we use
and noise limiting and
we use the noise profile and stuff like that, but we
It's-
still do that. But that's pretty much
squashes your
Yeah.
fucking vocal quality. It
Yeah.
just crushes it. I tried that when I first started doing the show.
you just
and
got to
I
be really careful with
I
it.
never uploaded any edited episode. Never. I couldn't do it because whenever I would listen to it before I uploaded, after I did editing, I was like, I'm not putting this out.
Yeah.
This sounds like ass, man.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, it'll destroy it. Like you have to be. It's super sensitive, so you have to be real careful with it. But yeah, nowadays, if we stumble over our words or whatever, that shit stays in there. We don't even care. We just move on.
Okay, the other thing that fans, like true fans of the content you put out, they like genuine, true, real shit. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember the first YouTube video that I made for our YouTube channel, and my phone kept falling over, and I left it in. Like I was recording it with my phone, and I had this little tripod, and it kept falling over, and I left it in, and people
Because
just
of
thought
the
that shit was
Because
hilarious.
of the
Yeah.
jankiness of the tripod.
Now you got a cool tripod.
Now he's got a good tripod.
Yeah, people thought it was
Yeah,
funny
boy.
as fuck.
Yeah.
And I knew that they would. I was just like, I'm gonna leave it in. I'm not gonna edit it out. It'd be
Fuck it.
hilarious.
You never really know what people are going to attach themselves to, anyways. So
Right?
Yeah.
Right,
Darn it.
like the guy,
Apple, pineapple, pineapple, pen.
well, like our goddamn, like that we took from Noob Noob.
Nope, nope.
Yeah.
damn.
God damn.
People love it.
Yeah, and that
Especially these two people. see how much they love me?
but like that Mark dude or whatever that ran up to me at the mall
Yeah.
when I was like this random guy.
that's awesome.
I'm walking through the mall. I'm wearing my scrubs for work, and this dude just goes, Bulldog Unchained, and I turned and looked. I was like, "What's up?" And he goes, "God damn!" And everybody in the mall goes, and I was like, "That's awesome."
Yeah. We went to a convention. We go to this convention every year called Indie PopCon, and there was somebody that.
Jesus Christ!
There was a kid.
A tragedy today.
Yeah, he's a wreck.
Yeah, he is.
There's a kid that came up to us and was like, "Man, I listen to your podcast all the time. Can I have your autograph?" And we were like, at first we were like, "Are you sure you know who we are?" Like, he's like, "No, I listen to every episode." And I was like, "Are you sure before I write on this thing?" That's
just it though. Like, it's weird. Okay, I used to be lead singer in a bunch of bands, and I had a very popular original band called Paradigm. And we did national headliner shows, man.
Sure.
We opened for Puddle of Mud, Saliva, shit like that. But there's still, decent sized crowds. And
absolutely.
And the weirdest thing for me was having to sign autographs. And I was like,
it's super weird.
I had to autograph a Heinz Ward jersey.
That would be pretty cool for you.
I was ecstatic about it. I was like, how many people who are not Steelers ever get to autograph a Steelers jersey?
Exactly.
That's cool as shit. And, like, he wanted me to autograph the number, and I refused to. I was like, nope, I will autograph in the yellow on your sleeve. And he was like, all right, that's cool.
Cool, man.
Yeah. And I was just like, holy shit. But, yeah, the autograph thing, it never, at least for me, after a year and a half of having to sign shit for people, I didn't get used to it. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to do it very often, mind you. But
here's the thing, though.
And he had his controller, his PlayStation controller. I was like, "Are you sure? Because once I do this, it's gonna be on there forever. Are you sure you know who we are?"
But that's just it. For that kid, his whole thing is he loves you guys enough to think that one day he's going to be able to show people, like, look at this, man. They signed my controller before they got big, before they blew up.
Cool.
How
cool.
Like, and that's what it is for you, for us, whatever. You never look at yourself in that light. Like,
no.
Why would anyone want my autograph, let alone have it as a source of pride? Or,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, one day, your life can turn upside down, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I have to strategically plan leaving my house.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get mobbed. I mean, I guarantee, look, I remember seeing the Justin Bieber shit when he was a little kid in Toronto posting YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing about this Justin Bieber kid going on tour, and I was like, going on tour for what? And now he's as much as I hate to say,
he's got a stomach tattoo.
Justin Bieber is the biggest thing in music since fucking Michael Jackson.
Did he just come out with a new album or something?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't follow him.
Okay,
It kind of sounded like you do.
Total believer.
I mean, I know that Taylor Swift dropped that new hotness.
Yo, are you ready for it? No, we wasn't. We wasn't.
Shit,
dude.
I'm going in September.
Does anyone else
see her in Indy?
Does anyone else look at Taylor Swift and just you look at her and you see her in interviews and your brain just goes, you know that she is the most unholy cunt to deal with in daily life.
You think?
Oh my God, the stories that I've heard just from fans.
I don't know.
That try to interact with her.
I've never watched her speak.
Now there is one. There is one worse.
Watch an interview,
and that's the Avril Lavigne thing where she did a meet and greet with fans, did photo ops, but the fans could not touch her.
Yeah,
they had to stand at least 1.5 feet away or some shit like that. And I'm like,
I would love to see these.
If I would have been there for that, I would have been like, get over here. I would have scorpioned her ass in a headlock and be like, take a fucking picture.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Well, if you were so you're willing to spend money to stand in line to spend money to see her.
Had I been there, like if I were going to see someone, like if I pay for a picture with you, and if I pay for a picture with you, you better take a fucking picture with me. You know who I can give props to? Who was amazing? Like I saw this whole photo layout. Rihanna did one with her fans where like this huge dude is holding Rihanna in his arms and her arms around him like this, and she's like, That's how you keep loyal diehard fans, and you make new fans when they see you cutting up with your fan base, not giving a fuck. I don't care for her music. That made me a Rihanna fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of her just because, yes, okay, she got paid to do these photos, but she gave these people their fucking money's worth.
Absolutely.
Like, she created memories with I think in one of them she's like,
I got the Four Horsemen one. I think one of the only photographs I've ever like paid to have was with Ric Flair. Worth it.
I've seen that one.
And was he not one of the nicest? Just
he wooed 4 times for me.
yeah, dude.
So, woo,
woo, woo. One of the coolest,
awesome.
One of the coolest people that I've met in wrestling was Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
Kevin Nash was just like you could hear him talking to the people when they would come take their pictures with him. Too many people are so excited that it's Kevin Nash standing there, and they're just like they don't even look happy. They look terrified. They're like, "There's a picture coming," and he would just lean down and be like, "Hey, you better throw up the too sweet," you know. And they're like, "That's it." They look like a deer in headlights, but they're holding up the Wolfpack symbol. But just the fact that he'd be like, "Hey, too sweet me." You know, shit like that.
Yeah, we went to Comic-Con in Indy this past year, and it just so happened to be on the same weekend as my wife and I's anniversary, and we were standing in line for Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil in Netflix show, and we're like, what the fuck is taking so long? It's like you're just signing the thing and then you're moving along. And then we got up there, and he was he was the coolest dude. He chit-chatted with us and he even signed my pop happy anniversary, because that's what we talked about.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. He's like, you don't care if I sign it like this? And I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
He was like, you don't care I signed it happy anniversary? I was like, no, man, absolutely, that's awesome.
I'm not eBaying this.
I'm not selling this. This is awesome.
Hell yeah. I've always had anything signed. I've always had it personalized. I'm just like, I want you to know that I want this for me,
right?
Because you're awesome. I'm not trying to put this on eBay to make money. This is for me. This is like DDP. Yeah, to David. Don't just leave it blank, brother. Yeah, to David. That was cool. He was one of the. I had the longest conversation with him in Lexington out of everybody. I mean, Ric Flair was awesome, but he had a ton of people there. DDP was. I found a window. I found a nice open window, and I had a good conversation with him, and he was really motivated.
What about talk about?
Just when I wrestled in high school. When I won a match, I would do the diamond. I would do the diamond cutter, and I got in trouble.
You sound like the coolest kid.
No, not at all. Not
Bang.
Wrestling does not get you laid.
Not at all. I stopped watching
that
wrestling.
Austin 316 shirt. That makes vaginas dry up like the Sahara.
Yeah, I took it off. I took that off. I put a Limp Bizkit T-shirt on. Learned how to play a couple Lifehouse songs.
Yeah,
That's
it. Oh yeah, dude.
Learned how to play a couple of.
Especially if you can learn everything by Lifehouse.
Yeah, dude, that's the one.
That's
the one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
'Cause you're all I want. Oh yeah, dude.
What song do they have? Lifehouse.
Lifehouse. Their big one was I'm falling even more.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh no, I'm talking about everything.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Find me here. Oh jeez,
Okay, yep.
They played it in Smallville, and that was the song that anybody who ever watched Smallville is like, man, that song for Clark and Lana, and I'm like, yeah, it's Lifehouse.
But then when I stopped caring about it,
What about Mbop?
started watching wrestling again. It was good. I was good to go by then.
Nubsy's like, I was getting laid to Hanson, bitch. Where's the love?
Baby top. That was my shit. That's what I was like.
Bop,
stroke
baby
the ass
top.
to.
Bop, baby top.
About babies.
I forget.
Bop, my baby top.
Ooh, that's what I was getting ready to. That's what the girl said afterwards. I was like, I did it.
I'm sticky.
So yeah, and then we talked about DDP yoga.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Hot
Dude,
yoga.
the one thing that I found, the celebrities that make the biggest impact on their fans are the ones that where like you'll go up and immediately you'll be like, man, I'm such a huge fan and blah blah blah, and they immediately are like, what else are you into? And they turn it on you and they get you to talk to them and tell them what kind of things that you're into. And if you start naming bands that you're into and they connect with you on one, Like, I've seen so many celebrities that are like, oh, dude, like, anytime that I've talked to, well, certain celebrities, I'll be like, man, I'm a huge Clutch fan. Like, that's my all-time favorite band. And then after them is Motorhead. One of those two, typically, especially a male celebrity, they're going to be like, dude, I fucking love Motorhead. Like,
It'll usually elicit a response.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Lemmy is God. There he is.
Boom.
Right there.
So you said you collect pops?
That's the fucking man.
I don't
there.
collect pops like
Not
like
like
he
that.
collects pops,
Right.
but yeah, I do the Marvel Collector-Core box and all that good
Nice.
stuff. So, and I wouldn't, like I said, I hesitate to call myself a collector because I kind of just get the things that I like.
That's
What I do.
That's
All
what
of
he
these
does,
are
too.
things that I love.
Yep.
I love your Goro, by the way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I love that. I love Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I got that Goro, and I got the 2-pack of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, where Scorpion's frozen and Sub-Zero's on fire.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
I love your Kevin Smith, too. I'm a huge fan, so.
I was so lucky to
Yeah.
get that because I went into Hot Topic that day, and it had just, or it was left there, and she had just brought it out of the back room because someone had pre-ordered it and then canceled.
Yeah, I went. They
And it
had
was
a
the only
huge,
one, and I was like, oh my God.
They had a huge rush of them that one day, and I just happened to be in the mall that day when I got the notification. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Your
And then I
luck.
went,
I
I went
got
in there,
one, too.
and they were already out. I was like, "Are you kidding?"
I got
like I
one.
literally just
Yeah.
saw it. So yeah,
I was
I was
there
pretty
that
bummed
day,
about
too.
that. Yeah,
That was a good day.
I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, so that's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, oh yeah. View Askew, everything.
Oh, yeah.
in the Askew-niverse, I'm on it. I love it.
I think as a podcaster, you kind of have to be a fan of him because he's been so instrumental to
He is very,
bring it to the mainstream.
Yes, very influential. For me, especially in what we do here, my two main influences, the biggest, of course, Howard Stern. Man, I've been listening to Howard
Sure.
since I was in high school,
Yeah.
like over 20 years. And Joe Rogan. I love Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to his podcast?
I've listened to a couple episodes. Yeah.
This is a Joe Rogan shirt, actually. It's higher.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The chakras.
Yeah, it is.
You got that taint chakra on there.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's right there. Yeah, at the bottom.
The root. Yeah.
the gooch.
The Gu chakra.
The gooch chakra. Fush Baba? Nah, bitch, gooch chakra.
That's right. Good stuff.
Still though.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Every fucking time, Dirt.
Okay. No, man, fuck you guys. You guys are lame. Shut up. Hurt my feelings.
Hot man, Scott Malkinson, I got diabetes. That's you.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Got him.
Fucking diabetes.
The Super Friends.
Oh, yeah. What? No, it's Kuhn and Friends.
Yeah, sure. That's what it is. It's Kuhn and Friends.
Coon and Friends.
Yes, it is.
And
The same.
The
Freedom Pals.
Freedom Pals. Yes, good
That
job.
could be
Good
us
job.
right now. Kuhn and Friends.
No, us three. Yes, you know.
Oh, I've never heard that
snap.
joke before.
That's fucking great.
No, I just...
Dirt Nap, way to go.
I knew I recognized you from somewhere in my elementary school.
I liked it. I'm on board with it.
I'd say because he's just heard it a bunch of times. That's why
Right.
he didn't care
Right.
for it.
It's brand new to us, Dick.
Oh.
I just want you to know that you're not as clever as you think you are.
Well, that's like when people say, "What's up, bullfrog?" And I'm like, "I don't know, first grade. What's up?"
Nice.
I put that as one of our side names, Bullfrog Malenko. She put Pomeranian.
Pomeranian Malenko. I like that one better.
Any
Because it's
breed-
a smaller dog. and
Any
it's
breed of
yappy.
dog. Any breed of dog. I've been called it. People can't even get that. They're like pit bull. Like they're being real though. They don't know. I'm like, no, just bulldog.
That's it.
Yeah.
Tadpole Malenko.
They're like bullshit, and I'm like, I give them the dirt nap laugh. And move on with my life.
That really is his laugh. Did you hear it? That's his
I
laugh.
laugh now.
No, that's not now. That's what it always been.
You're hilarious. I made a realization last week, and it's just they kind of ran with it since then. It's
It
been
was
awesome.
wonderful. Because he was talking about something. We were talking about something being retarded, and Nubsy goes, and just immediately he goes, "Wait a minute,
Hey,
that's the laugh that you do to make fun of me." And Nubsy goes,
on a YouTube episode, it's the 47-minute mark. I got the timestamp.
Of course he does.
That's awesome.
See, you can create
right before the camera went out.
Right before the camera.
You can make micro content out of that. That's a golden moment right there.
It's stuck forever now.
Yeah.
Like that's your life.
Yeah, that's exactly.
We're talking about Kevin Dunn and how he treats Kevin Owens.
Oh yeah. Kevin Dunn being fucking retarded. He's one of the WWE producers, like head of shit backstage. He's a fucking moron. Anyway, he doesn't matter.
He's not fair. He doesn't treat Kevin Owens fairly.
He doesn't treat a lot of people fairly because he's a fucking idiot. And if he deems it that, oh, you're not cut out to be a superstar and blah blah blah, but all of a sudden the fans say otherwise, he gets butthurt. He doesn't like that.
His teeth get like hurt.
So I just had a really thought.
Sure.
For you, Patrick. I want to pull it back to your podcast and what you've done with it so far. Do you put out coming up, like, do you put that information out to your audience, letting them know this week the new Star Wars is coming out. We're going to review that. That'll be up on Monday. Do you do that?
Occasionally, but since we review so many movies and it's usually the big one, I mean, our fans have kind of gotten used to the fact that, okay, if the new Star Wars is coming out, our name is from Star Wars. Like, it's a play on Star Wars.
You would better goddamn well be there.
Yeah. You know that Star Wars is gonna be what we talk about. But a lot of times we will, hey, check out our next episode. Like at the end, we always have our call to action, whatever you want to call it. And we'll be like, hey, next episode's probably going to be this or that or whatever. We don't generally plan too far ahead. Because we kind of like it, if something comes out that just kind of is blowing people away, we want to be able to talk about it. So we don't plan too far ahead, but yeah, usually we will send out.
We have pretty much no framework here at all. We just
See,
come
well,
in and
and
go
here's
with
the
it.
thing. So a few months ago, I experimented with pumping out more content, like on our Facebook page. You know what I found is people don't care about content that's not the show. They don't fucking care. They'll click like, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
They're not
they
engaging.
Won't engage.
They're not engaging. They don't give a fuck. They want the show. And if it's not the show, then it's why am I getting notifications about this?
Yeah.
God damn it, stop wasting my time. Let me know when something's actually up for me to consume.
When you go to our Facebook page, a lot of our Facebook pages, I mean, obviously us pimping our stuff, but it's a lot of, okay, this thing just got announced, like casting news or whatever, because we talk a lot about that on our podcast. And so a lot of times it's just like, oh, here's a fun thing that we saw on IGN or whatever, comicbook.com, and me or Tyler, my co-host, will respond to it kind of in the way that you would on the actual podcast. So a lot of our content is kind of on our social media is kind of that stuff, because if you listen to the podcast, a good chunk of our podcast is we talk about what we call nerd news, because we have segments. It's a lot more structured than this show is, but so one of our segments is nerd news. So if you like our show, you obviously like our opinions on things that are happening. So that's kind of what a lot of our Facebook is, just us responding to certain things that are going on. There's
a podcast also that I interact with sometimes because we host through the same company, and they're called Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And these dudes are funny, and they have the same kind of thing. It's kind of a structured show. They have a dude who tries to keep them on track and on point. And I've tried that with this show, and I've found that when, like, my show, this show that we do here, it's not built to be structured.
No.
It has to free flow, because any time that I've tried to structure it, it sounds great in the moment, and then you go back and listen to it, and you're like, man, I just killed a great talking point that could have gone on another 20 minutes to fill up time.
Absolutely.
Then we do this segment, and now we're done 5 minutes later, and we're like, so what are we going to talk about now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
So I've learned, I had to learn that before I brought these two in as permanent co-hosts, but once they were here, that formula, like this formula, was already forming. They didn't even realize what I was doing when I first started having them come in regularly. And like, then I kept asking. I was like, hey, I did it. I skipped a week, had them come back. Skipped another week, did with someone else, had them come back, and then I asked them that day when we were done. I was like, you guys want to come back in next week? And they were like, sure. And then I just kept asking them back each week, and then finally I was just like, you guys realize that you're a part of this now, and you've been absorbed.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you, and some shows are better structured, and some shows like this one just feels like if you have a rapport with somebody and you could just talk for hours, it makes it feel more natural. And it took us a long time to kind of understand that the segments are there to keep the show flowing, but if we're talking about something, we're going to talk about it.
Keep them more, you keep the segments as more of a, this conversation's kind of dying off a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So what about this?
Yeah. So, I mean, we start off the show, and we don't just jump right into the first segment. It's just like, we're just kind of chit-chatting for a little bit, kind of like what you guys do. And then once it kind of, that momentum dies down, we're like, oh, okay, well, if this is your first episode, this is how we start off the episode. We kind of check in with each other. We call it what we're into, and then we start off the show. So if it's 3 minutes into the show, we start what we're into, or if it's 10 minutes into the show, we start what we're into. It doesn't matter as long as the conversation for those 3 or 10 minutes is good conversation.
Oh, there's been times when these two goofballs are locked into some kind of conversation before we even start the show, and I'll just click record.
Absolutely.
And it comes in at like a minute and a half, and I'm like, it is Sunday, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you're fucking recording?
It happens.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah.
And I capture a lot of gold that way because no joke, more often than not, some of the funniest shit that is said in this room happens within the first 10, 15 minutes of us being in here before anything is fucking recording.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, stop talking. God damn it. Save it for the show.
Yeah. No, I mean, we do the same thing. We'll start getting into a conversation like when we first meet up and we're just kind of chit-chatting because we don't talk to each other a whole lot because we're both pretty busy. And so it's like, oh, what have you been into? And we'll just start chit-chatting. I'll be like, man, we probably should save this. Like, let's start recording because we need to get this on air.
People think that me and Dirtnap and Nubsy, like, they're like, man, you guys, like, hang out all the time and stuff. And I'm like, no, I literally see them for 2 hours, thereabouts, maybe 3, on Sundays. And they're like, what? And I'm like, no, dude, we don't get to hang out. Like, everybody's schedules are so different. We've all got our lives and things that are going on. And,
absolutely.
And people just can't grasp that this is literally our time together. And I think that that's why our conversations flow so well when it comes to showtime, is because we're literally 3 guys that are catching up over the past week for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever we're doing.
I think those are the best shows because your audience get to know you and they care about you. They don't give a shit about what you're talking about. It's you that they care about. And I think that forms the best bond with your audience for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like, people love that, like, especially since we've started calling him out for it. He only completes like 70% of the words that he says.
Oh, I've noticed.
But people love that we've started busting his balls. And then now that it started last week, the making fun of Dirtnap thing.
My laugh is wonderful. I love that. I'm so glad that I can bring you guys joy.
Absolutely. It's amazing. But yeah, I think it's like, I've heard quite a few podcasts where I'm like, man, like, even when I started doing it, okay, the shows are rough. Like, my first few months of shows, they're rough because they are brutal, they're vile,
absolutely,
they're vulgar.
We tell people skip the first 20.
Dude, I tell people, I'm like, if you like the show now and you want a true appreciation for it, go back and listen to how it was when it started, because it was off the fucking rails.
Yeah.
Like, it was talking about butt sex all the time.
All the time.
He was going through an anal phase at the time in his life.
It's not a phase. It's called life.
It's called life. Yeah. Like, my first time on, we had the questionnaires doing, so people would send in live messages, and one was
that's the structure that the show used to be. Was all of my friends and fans submitted questions.
Yeah, we would have a listener question episode.
No, that
every
was
once
the show. That was the show. So
How did you get enough questions for that every week?
I couldn't get to the questions.
Really?
Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
And we would do an hour and a half at that point, trying to get to the questions. Like we would have 30 left over.
That's awesome.
Like it was just insane.
Yeah,
And then
questions.
I was also on Fridays. I would do another show on this called 30 Minutes of Mayhem, where people would submit questions to me, and I did a 30-minute show, rapid fire, boom, 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 giving funny answers to shit. You know, people would even be asking for life advice, and I'm just being the most disingenuous prick that's ever existed. But it was fun. But I realized, I was like, man, it's got to be something different. Like, even I got tired of talking about butt sex all the time. I was just like,
See? Phase.
well, for show, maybe.
Yeah.
Like show phase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Real life? No, it's not. a
I
phase.
know,
Butt
it's
sex is
easy
life.
to explore. Yeah, I know. That's what I
Explore the dark cavern. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw that dick in the duty dungeon.
See, I'm never too far from it.
No, it's always right there. It's always there.
It's a frontal lobe dirt now.
It's that part of the brain that needs to go to the butt. Okay, cool.
Oh fuck! So how long have you been doing this?
I guess it was just 4 years in November.
Damn.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a while now.
How many? What episode are you on?
Monday's episode will be 172.
Damn. Son.
So we were bi-weekly for a while
Okay,
there.
I
I
was
mean,
gonna
there was
say,
a
I was
couple
like-
of years. There was a couple of years where we were
Hey,
bi-weekly.
look, man! I had to take 3 straight months off.
Yeah, we don't skip very often. That's one good thing. I mean, we skipped an episode. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, right after The Last Jedi came out, because my family lives in Vegas, and so I was going to Vegas for Christmas.
I
But
lived
other than
out there
that,
for 3 years.
oh yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, we skipped an episode, and I think that was the first time we'd skipped in probably 4 or 5 months.
We had one after the Clutch concert. We just had to skip that day too because me and him went to Nashville to see Clutch.
It was fantastic.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Thanks, guys.
So much.
He's gonna act like he didn't know that we were going to Clutch. We were only talking about it for 2 fucking months before we went.
I don't listen to you guys talk. I just sit here and wait to say something.
That's probably the realest thing that's ever been said on this show. I don't really listen to you guys. I just wait for an opening.
It's like. It's your boy, boys.
That's awesome.
Got him.
Boy.
There's just elevator music going on up there most of the time. He's just like, McDonald's fries, McDonald's fries. Gotta get me some McDonald's fries. Okay, they both shut up.
That's
Oh
great.
shit,
We
nobody's
just-
talking.
We just provided McDonald's with their next commercial. McDonald's fries, McDonald's fries. Gotta get me some McDonald's fries.
So salty and delicious.
They never go bad.
Forever. It's so gross. Anyways. Cool. So what inspired you to start?
Well, it
These
was.
aren't
I
the nerds
mean,
you're looking
there's a couple of things. I think we kind of touched on Kevin Smith a little bit, and I think he definitely had a huge influence in us. Just his philosophy, just kind of like, as long as you're not hurting anybody, kind of do what you want to do. And when we were having these nerdy conversations anyways, so it's like, hey, we love podcasts, and we feel
Cool.
like we're saying interesting things.
You got something to add,
Yeah,
something to
let's
offer.
put it out
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
And it was always kind of like I wanted to do something creative. And
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to do it with Tyler because he was, I mean, we had, like, as we got to know each other, we realized that we had a lot of the same interests and stuff like that. And it was just
What's
something.
Tyler's last name?
Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I was gonna say, give your boy a shout out.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, he always gives me shit about that.
Are you
but
okay?
Yeah. I just thought of another funny name thing. Coon Hunt.
Actually,
I know.
This just got dark.
congratulations. I have actually never heard that one.
Yeah. That's not dark. No, you're taking it to a dark.
The Hunt and Coon Show. Boy, you guys would have protesters without
Yeah.
people even
That's,
understanding what. Like, no, those are our names. What are you talking? Oh my God, no, we're not.
Coon with
Let's-
a K, folks.
let's tread
Kuhn and
lightly.
friends.
But
Turnap can't even fucking look. That laugh was genuine too. You know that, right? Like he wasn't even trying to do that time. He straight just had the retard laugh for real.
Fuck you guys. Sorry.
Oh my god!
I don't even know
Another
where that
thing
came
that I
from.
love to find out from people that do podcasting is your equipment. What kind of equipment do you use? Like, what do you?
Well, we've gone through a lot of different equipment. We had a mixer for a while, but he actually Tyler just recently moved to Cleveland, so we do everything on video Skype now. So we
okay.
actually record our audio separate now.
Wow.
And so that
So does he have to send you
yeah,
his audio?
yeah.
And oh man, so you got to compress both of those together.
Yeah, it's a pain. It's a pain, but I mean, we've been doing it for a while, so we're both kind of used to doing
In a rhythm, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how, when we started doing the video stuff, I was just like, God damn it, getting it to sync up. Because I sync the pure audio track with the videos. And I take the sound out of the video.
You need to get a clapboard for that shit.
Don't I fucking know it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. But because the sound through these, it's not bad, but
No.
it's not great.
It's
I mean, you have
It's
these
tinny,
microphones.
yeah.
You might as well use them.
Right,
for
and
sure.
then like, even if we go mobile, this is what we've got for that.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, we have a Zoom 1
Yeah,
for the mobile stuff.
Boss,
I don't remember.
or is it Roland?
I can't remember the actual
I know what
company.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
though. Yeah.
So, I mean, we love that. We used to actually record from the mixer into that when we were both in the same room together, which obviously we can't do that now. But, yeah, I've gone through a lot of different microphones. I'm doing the Blue Yeti right now because I use that for the
Right on.
YouTube stuff as well.
See, if it was just me with a computer, I would probably go Blue Yeti.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's USB and I gotta have at least 4
Oh, yeah,
mics.
yeah.
And our next upgrade, I'm going with a 12-channel mixer that'll have 8 XLR inputs.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I want to be able to eventually have more people. Like if we got a group of people coming in with us, like anytime we've had 2 people that come in as guests, they have to share this middle mic.
Yeah, that's a pain.
And it is a pain because you got one dude that's going to talk like this and he's going to be real silent. The other guy's fucking like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
It's craziness. So you've been doing this almost 4 years.
Yep.
And now you have the challenge of podcasting with someone who lives a state away.
Yep.
So you're doing all the editing yourself, or both of you?
No,
do?
we're still alternating
Okay,
every
well,
other
that's-
weekend.
that's
so
cool. That's not
I
bad.
post everything. So I mean, with our hosting site and all that stuff, I post it to our website and all that good stuff. But he does all the editing every other week. So
See, I've thought about having them get on the editing, but at the same time, I'm like, man, there's not really a need to teach them because by the time we're ready, like if we hit a point where we blow up and it's time to move out of here and get an actual studio, that means we got the money. And I'm gonna be hiring somebody, and
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna do this
Yeah.
bullshit anymore.
That'd be
Literally,
nice.
the 3 of us show up. Somebody, and we put our headphones on, somebody else hits record, they monitor all the bullshit.
Yeah.
I get to focus strictly on the show with them.
yeah, we've considered that, but it's like I don't know if I ever want to give up the control. Like
Those first few months, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, look, I don't care if you've got a degree in this or how long you've been doing it, you don't know this show.
yeah.
And
Yeah, it was. I mean, I trust Tyler. Like, because we've had this conversation before. He'll be like, "Well, did you even listen to the episode?" I was like, "Man, if you think it sounds good, we're good. Like, it's your show too, so go for it." But yeah, those first couple of episodes that he edited, I was like, because I was so
'Cause
used
it's
to
your
doing.
baby.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was something that I learned how to do and was really passionate about. So it was just like, trying to give up that control was a little. I was definitely anxious about it, but yeah, now that he does it and he knows what he's doing, it's his show too. I think basically I knew once we went weekly that there was no way that I was going to be able to do it every single week on my own. So I was just like, yeah, man, if we want to go weekly, you got to take over some of this stuff because I have to have a life outside of this as
Right.
well.
pretty much my son, like, okay, Sundays during football season, we get here early, do the show, and then, I'll come back after the game, finish everything, get the show uploaded, start loading the videos into the computer and all that. But I'm kind of, once football season's done, I'm ready for that too, because normally we come in at noon instead of 9. And that'll be, I think, a lot better for me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I like the 9 a.m. actually.
Do you?
Because I'm early. I wake
Well,
up.
I mean,
at 5 in the
I'm
morning,
up early
so-
too. But
Yeah.
even if we keep it at 9 or even 10,
Yeah.
because
We'll just have more flexibility through
right, because
after today. I
Admittedly-
think after today we should have a lot more flexibility on our with
Oh,
after today we should have a lot more.
this is
flexibility
Dirt Nap's last episode, people.
when Jacksonville's in the AFC Championship game next week. Haley Fawn, whoop whoop.
I did tell her though.
Oh yeah, well
I did.
Well, are you gonna go watch the game with her somewhere next weekend?
Yeah, when the Steelers go into Foxborough, yeah, she'll be there with me. She'll be watching with me.
Is that a 3:25 game? What time is that championship game?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't think they scheduled
See?
the playoff
See, that's
game.
why-
No, the championship games are
Oh,
set.
so they've
that's
already
all
had the
set.
time
Yeah,
slots.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They just don't have who's
Yeah,
playing.
that makes sense.
Obviously, like right now, it's the Atlanta Falcons versus TBD and New England
No,
Patriots
the
versus
Falcons
Philadelphia.
lost. It's Philadelphia.
oh
they
yeah,
lost.
Eagles. Yeah. You're right. It was like 15-9.
16-10.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh, they did get a touchdown.
I thought so. I thought it was 16-10.
It ended 15-9. I'm pretty sure it was all field goals.
No, the Falcons scored a touchdown for sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
about
they
the-
did. Yeah, they
They
did.
missed
That's
the
when I
point.
came
They
in.
missed the point.
Yeah, that's when I came into the game. Yeah, they did.
But it was 10. They had 10 points somehow. I don't know how they scored 10 points, but it was But anyway, Derp
I thought it was 15-9.
9. Okay, it could have been 9.
I think.
Yeah, because they had a field goal when they scored a touchdown.
after touchdown. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Burp. Burp.
Silliness.
Burp, burp, burp.
But I did tell Haley, I was like, if you guys do beat us, I will be hardcore rooting for Jacksonville. Plus,
Absolutely. I would
Plus,
love if Jacksonville.
if Jacksonville made it, I'd be like, that's kind of cool, man. Good for them.
That's the only reason I'm supporting Jacksonville is
But-
because Pittsburgh's got 6, and they are the greatest. They are of all. That's like they're like the Yankees. They're the dynasty that's been fucking super. They've done the best overall football teams
Packers.
No.
in the modern NFL era.
The modern era, as much as it hurts me to say this, the best modern era team is the New England Patriots.
Oh, I mean today, yes.
no.
but of all time.
I mean, since the fucking merger, since Super Bowls have existed, the Patriots are the greatest fucking team that has existed. Think about this. One quarterback has 5 fucking rings. One quarterback, and he's done it in under 2 decades.
yeah.
The fact that Tom Brady has
about to
almost
have
been
his 6th.
playing for 2 decades in the NFL, and he has 5 fucking rings.
Yeah, he's about to have a
Fuck,
6.
shut the fuck up. No, he is not.
I hope not.
There will be a sniper posted up in fucking Minnesota.
Durr.
The thing I think is funny about the Jags, if they were to go to the Super Bowl, because I'm bust my buddy Jeff's balls about this all the time because he's a Jacksonville fan. I was like, you're going to be stuck with Bortles. He's going to be the new Joe Flacco.
Oh, he's there
Because if they go
forever.
to the Super Bowl,
Yep.
they
You ain't getting rid of
can't
him.
not pay him
Yep.
because he took them to a Super Bowl. So it's like, I mean,
When we all know that Jacksonville's
Burnett.
defense is the whole reason
Oh, yeah,
they're
for
even
sure.
sniffing.
I mean,
Leonard
even
Fournette
Flacco
is
had a
good,
good
too.
run.
Fournette is a beast of a running
that
back.
dude's a
He's
fucking monster.
ungodly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He's
a
who was
monster.
the guy that they had a couple of years ago that was a monster too?
are you talking about like?
Jones Drew.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
He was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
The dude
JD.
that I hated more than anyone, and this goes back to Central Division. Before they split it up in 2001, or no, 2001 was the last year of Central Division, and then the next year is when we had 32 teams, and
Yeah, the Texans.
and they split Central into North and South.
Mm-hmm.
But the Jacksonville Jaguars had one man named Fred Taylor who was the Steeler killer, man. Jacksonville could not have won a fucking game thus far in their season, and they'll play Pittsburgh, and Fred Taylor's going to run for 200 fucking yards. And the Steelers' defense at that time would hold even the best running backs in the league were holding you to 30 yards. You're not getting your run game on. Fred Taylor's like, fuck that. Watch this, bitch, Fred X. Making deliveries to the fucking end zone all goddamn day. I hated that motherfucker. Hated him.
Federal Express.
It took them a minute to get it.
What?
I was on the page with you. It took them a minute to get it.
Oh my God, he was just...
When he was healthy.
He could have come in a wheelchair against us and still fucking blown holes in lines and... Ugh.
See, the thing is, whenever I watch sports, I'm usually too bandwagony to ever follow lineages like that. So I don't remember. I'm just kidding.
Dude, see, that's what, like, when we won Super Bowl, I mean, look, there's my dedication right there. I had to wait a long time to be able to get this. And when we won Super Bowl 40, there were people who didn't know me that would see my Steelers tattoo or, oh yeah, it's real easy to be a Steelers fan, isn't it? And I'm like, bitch, I suffered through Mark Malone, Bubby Brister, Cordell the Black Death Stewart. Fuck you, man.
Cordell Stewart.
Yeah.
I've been a Steelers fan, and this was mostly coming from Colts fans. I was like, I've been a Steelers fan longer than you've had a fucking team that flew by night, closed up shop in Baltimore, and fled to Indiana.
Don't get me started about Colts fans, man.
I remember when they were called Rams and Titans fans. I remember when Rams jerseys were prevalent around here.
Yeah.
I remember.
When I was student teaching, I used to play a game with some of my students. When I would find out they were Colts fans, I'd be like, name me 3 other Colts that aren't Peyton Manning, and I would get an Edgerrin James. And this is years. I mean, he wasn't even with the Cardinals at the time.
Dude, I could do
He was
this.
retired, and they were still saying Edgerrin James. I was like, are you kidding me right now?
I'd be like, I'd say, give me 3 to 5 people that aren't Peyton Manning. Get Edgerrin James. You might get Marvin Harrison, and then they'd be like, man, I don't know. I'd be like, Bob Sanders, Jeff Saturday.
I can name your fucking center. Special teamers.
Yeah, I can tell you your goddamn offensive line because they were beastly, and that's the only reason that Peyton Manning got to do the things that he did.
Yeah.
Imagine if Peyton Manning would have been on a team with a decent defense.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like the Steelers, the biggest mistake the Steelers ever made, they passed on Dan Marino. How many Super Bowls would Pittsburgh have had Dan Marino dressed black and gold? Mm. Oh my God. With those defenses through the 80s that we had, fuck you, man. We'd have like 11 Super Bowls right now. I have no doubt in my mind. Like it would have gone from...
Did Pittsburgh pass on him?
Yes. Passed. And he played for Pitt. He played at Pitt. And everybody was like, please draft Dan Marino. He's great. He's a Pittsburgh boy. He wants to be here. And no.
Well, if we didn't have Sexy Rexy, we would have won in 06. He was the MVP of that Super Bowl.
Hold on.
I was in Iraq for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Colts beat a Rex Grossman-led Bears team when Kyle Orton is the reason that you guys made the playoffs that year.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
The fact that Rex Grossman was healthy for like the divisional playoff game, so they went with him, and you guys squeaked out the wins to go to the Super Bowl. And I was like, how do you not stick with what fucking got you there? Kyle Orton played like the last 9 games of the season.
He was given a 7-0 lead before he even touched the ball.
Opening kickoff, Devin Hester. I even said, I was like, Devin Hester's getting ready to run this back. I called it. I was like, Devin Hester's running this
every time he
kickoff
touched
back.
the ball. I remember that season. Every time you held your breath.
Yeah, they squibbed. They squibbed to him the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, they didn't want that to happen again. Hell no, you can't afford that. And most of their punts they kicked out of bounds.
Yep.
You don't give Devin Hester the ball in open field like that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That opening kickoff. As soon as I saw that ball fall in his hands, I was like, "This is done." And I was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna destroy the Colts."
I thought my buddy broke my jaw because we hugged so hard after that happened.
And then I saw Rex Grossman finally come out on the field, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Well, no.
I mean, I remember 2 plays where he just overthrew the wide receiver, and nobody was
by
even
like 10 yards.
Nobody was even
and the
around him.
Receivers open.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Bernard Berrien, I think there was at least one where he overthrew him, which is hard to overthrow that guy.
And he was at least 7 yards ahead of the defender. It was stupid. It was like, man, a half-blind kid with a bad arm could have lofted that ball into his hands, and he could have slowed down at the 5-yard line and walked into the end zone and not been touched. Like, that's how far ahead. Like, he beat that defensive back so fucking bad, like off the line, and it was just and the ball goes 10 yards out in front of him.
Yeah.
If I had been your coach at that point in time, I would be in prison because I would have murdered Rex. Right there, I would have run onto the field and choked the life out of him. Oh my God! But yeah, the Colts ended up winning a Super Bowl, and
I know. I was there.
Then I had to suffer through that unbearable fucking year.
Nice.
Oh my God! It was like the worst. It was like the worst year of my life.
Because first of all, the bandwagon for the Colts was already
07,
awful, and then it got worse.
Yeah, I didn't know I could hate the Patriots more, but they're the reason the Colts got in that year. What was their lead? I can't even remember in the championship game that they just completely choked. And the thing that bothers me the most about that Super Bowl is everyone that I know that were Colts fans that were happy that they won the Super Bowl, or Colts fans in quotes, would have been cheering for the Bears that year. The Bears would have been everybody's favorite to win because everybody hates the Patriots.
See, that's why this year I feel that it's going to be different for us. Like, I think that we have to beat Jacksonville today, and we have to. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, well of course you have to make the Super. No, no, the Steelers have to do this because this may very well likely be Ben's last year.
Probably.
And he has never beaten the Patriots in a playoff game.
Yeah.
And I think he feels especially, and hold on, and our boys are playing with motivation that no other team has. They got a dude on the sideline in a wheelchair right now that was our heart and soul of our defense, Ryan Shazier, and Shazier got to go to practice this week, and he's helping run the defense.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
These dudes are motivated now. Like, Vince Williams may kill someone today. Vince Williams is, like, when that happened to Shazier, they showed the video clip of Cam Hayward walking over talking to Vince Williams while Vince is sitting on the bench, and Cameron's like, hey man, we're still in the game, we need you to come back to us, because Vince was just hurt. He was gone. Every bit of Vince was with Ryan on his way to the hospital. And hold on, I gotta sneeze. No, okay. Vince Williams
is also for a second.
Yeah,
that's good.
Vince Williams is one of our defensive leaders, man. Number 98, he's linebacker. He played right next to Ryan.
Yeah.
And he's a beast. And you could just tell it was taken out of him. Since that game, Vince Williams it's like he's playing for two people now. He's playing for himself and Ryan. And I guess he feels like he's got to cover both of those.
Yeah.
And
man,
what do you guys feel about Minnesota? The whole Minnesota thing. Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I'm not really rooting for them.
Minnesota in Minnesota? Like, wouldn't that be the first time?
It would be the first time.
Everybody thinks that,
that'd be cool.
Of course it would be cool. You get to play the Super Bowl in your home stadium.
Yeah.
Even though you're the visitor? Even though you're the visiting team?
That's kind of funny, too, that they would have to wear their away jerseys in their home stadium. Be cool. Now, the one thing, like, I get that would be cool. I want something so badly. I want the Keystone Bowl. I want the Pennsylvania Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that, yeah.
Pittsburgh versus Philly. Dude,
that would be insane.
That will be massive. If that can take place.
But how is that going to happen when Jacksonville's going to win?
I'm a Pirates fan, so I get that with the Phillies. Yeah. And they shut down the bridge, so they don't let you... Yeah. That's a cool rivalry, yeah.
That's funny.
You're a Pirates fan?
I am a Pirates fan.
How did that happen?
Just my parents were Braves fans growing up, and we used to go to Pittsburgh to watch the Braves play the Pirates, and it kind of went the opposite way for me. And we used to go down to Florida.
You, Dad.
That's
Fuck
how,
you, Dad. You
that's
give
how it
me a hot
happened
dog.
That's how it happened for me for football. My grandfather was a Johnny Unitas man, hardcore Baltimore Colts. We go see the Steelers play the Colts, and when I saw black helmets come out, dude, they looked like when you see, especially in their home, like or you just see the black helmets and everything. Granted, they were in their away uniforms, but when you see them in their home uniforms and you see that black and gold come out of that tunnel, it is so goddamn impressive. Like, you're just like, fuck, dude. I say the same thing about the Raiders, man. The silver and black. Oh my God, it's just intimidating. It looks, even though their helmets are just silver with the black side. That's why I think the Steelers have the best uniform. They've got the best helmet in the league. The logo's only on the right side. The rest of it's all black.
Yeah.
Pirates
got that going for them too. I mean, especially as a little kid, it's like
funny,
Race the Jolly Roger. They're pirates.
It's the only city that has matching uniforms for their sports teams, and it was organized that way. The Pirates and the Penguins contacted the Pittsburgh Steelers to make sure that it was okay that
black
they were
and yellow.
black and gold.
Yeah.
That they wore black and gold too, and Art Rooney was like, absolutely,
That's awesome.
We are Pittsburgh. A lot of people don't know too that Pittsburgh was approached by the NFL to be America's team, and Art Rooney said, we're Pittsburgh's team.
Yeah.
And so they went with the Cowboys, and that, sports fans, is why the Dallas Cowboys are called America's team. Look it up. I'm not lying to you. It was originally going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
My source is the internet.
No, this came out way before the internet. They did a report. They did a show on this on ESPN back in the day.
Look at,
but Art Rooney,
the Steelers are one of the most popular teams outside of their home city for sure.
When you were overseas, how many terrible towels did you see on bases and stuff?
None.
Really?
Yeah. We didn't play games, man. We was in a fucking war. No, I didn't.
Get the fuck out of here. Do you know how many pictures get sent from Iraq and Afghanistan?
It wasn't a big thing that year, because the year that I was there, it was the Bears and the Colts.
That was the year after we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, they had tanks that had terrible beach towels pinned up on them and shit. One of my favorite pictures, there's a co-pilot tandem unit, and they're flying, and it's cool because two jets are like this, like flying just regular. One of them's upside down. Well, the one jet is above the other jet, flying upside down, and both of the navigators in the back seats are, one's upside down holding his terrible towel, and the other dude's holding his terrible towel like this, and the other navigator from this jet takes the photo.
Yeah.
That's some goddamn dedication to get a picture of your terrible towels in a cool situation. Fucking.
Are you a Pirates fan? Are you one of those guys?
I'm a Cardinals guy.
Oh, really?
Dude, my sports teams are scattered.
I'm the same way.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Notre Dame College, St. Louis Cardinals, Boston Celtics, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just made up I moved around a lot.
For college hockey, you Maine Black Bears, baby. Woo!
College hockey, huh? Hell yeah!
I love college hockey. Oh, dude, it is, man. You got to realize they say that college football's better because these kids are competing for their professional lives. You want to see competing for your professional lives? Go look at a sport where not hundreds of dudes are getting drafted. No, you go watch hockey where each team has 18 people.
Yeah,
that's it.
And most of those aren't going to get drafted.
Nope.
Because that's not where the NHL gets their talent.
No, not from the American colleges.
Nope.
Hell no. They send people over to collect Russian prisoners as they get paroled, and they're like, "Can you skate?" "Yes, of course I can skate. I was born on skates." "Do you like to hit people?" "I just got out of prison. I kill people." "You want to play hockey?" "What else am I going to do?" And that's it.
Welcome to St. Louis.
Oh, dude.
Kirk Martin's gonna love you.
That's real. Although, one of the best
Got him.
one of the best players in the league right now plays for my team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he is Phoenix, Arizona, born and bred, American kid, Austin
Yep.
Matthews, man. Yeah. Austin Matthews in his rookie debut, in his very first game as a Maple Leaf, he scored 4 goals.
I'll drink to that.
Fuck. That's insane. First of all, to ever score a hat trick, so many great players never scored a hat trick in their entire career. He does it his first night.
Yeah.
And now, he's still a kid. And Toronto is looking stout. We've had a bad skid, though, this past month. It's not awesome, but I think they'll bounce back for trade deadline. I think we got some guys that are going to be dealt out to get some more younger talent on the team, and
Sure.
we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah.
That night, Mike Babcock's an amazing coach. He built a dynasty for Detroit, so yeah,
It's about that time.
it is about that time. Yeah, we got to cut it kind of early today. Patrick Kuhn, thanks for coming on, man.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Thanks
it
for
was
having
fun.
me. For sure.
Yeah, I am the king of villains, Bulldog Malenko. This is the Bulldog Unchained podcast.
Where can you check us out at?
You can get us on Podbean. Well, obviously, if we're telling them, they know where to get us. But Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, it's all there. It's
Instagram. We're on
well,
Facebook.
I don't really do the Instagram thing anymore. Man,
You
I don't
should.
know. I should.
should.
It's
I
fun.
Hashtag where you at, Bulldog?
Man,
need to bring it up this
the
week,
Instagram
but I'm
thing
gonna.
doesn't seem to garner much response.
Okay.
Like,
Not
Yeah.
yet. Because your ass isn't good yet. Wait until your ass is popping. Then we're going to get the millions of followers, baby.
Start doing twerking videos.
I'm saying,
for Bulldog
dude,
Unchained.
show your ass. That's how you get it on Instagram.
Ass and titties.
Is that what you do, Pat?
Well, that's what I'm going to start doing.
Okay,
See?
For
sweet.
sure.
He knows. That's what Instagram's for.
The twerk
I
you're looking
had
for.
no idea. I've been doing Instagram wrong.
Right? The twerk you're looking for.
That's it.
That'd be a new thing right there.
What about you? Where can we find you, Patrick?
Basically all the places that you just named, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, basically any good podcatcher you use, we're on it. We have a website, thenerdspodcast.com, and then we're, of course, on YouTube as well, the nerds you're looking for.
The
Awesome.
nerd you're looking for.
Yep.
Check it
Yeah,
out.
we'll
everybody.
throw some links up.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you
for
very
sure.
much for coming on today.
Oh, it was awesome.
And,
Anytime.
and I can't forget Nubsy Slow.
It's your boy.
Shaboy boy. Shaboy boy.
That's my theme song.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shit, we said it at the same time.
Yep. Tanch Pokey, owe me a Coke.
Oh my god, what is happening?
Are you spirit fingers in the camera now? What the fuck are you doing?
Waving bye. I'm waving bye.
Alright, we'll be back next week.
Show's over, motherfuckers.